guys, hello PERFORMA heroes, PERFORMA Nation. Welcome to the PERFORMA POPcast. Thank you for listening, first of all. And I'm your host, Peter Surs. You guys know me. Today, you guys, I'm very excited to bring, if you've been listening to this episode from the very beginning, which I'm sure all of you have, you know that this show has been a mixture of people that I know personally that I've gotten to introduce to you guys. And then we've also been able to get to know some interesting people together. So this week, my guest is someone that I did have the pleasure of working with, that I know. So I'm very excited because she's kind of become this whole different thing now over the last couple of years. So I'm excited for you guys to meet her, and we're going to learn all about. First of all, she's a mom. She's got 2 children, Oliver, and I forget your new baby's name.
Orlando. And Eddie.
And Eddie, why did I say Oliver? God damn it. She's a Kundalini Yoga teacher and a personal trainer. And like I said, we used to actually work together at a place that's no longer open. RIP to modelFIT. But ladies and gentlemen, PERFORMA Nation, give a warm welcome to Joie Ruggiero.
Hi, Pete.
Hi. How do I look? Do I look the same? Do I look different?
You look exactly the same. Totally. Ageless, timeless, Pete. And the reason why you can't get Orlando's name right ever is because you thought that I should name him Peter.
I think that
I was pregnant and you're like, how's Peter? Like, no.
I say that to everybody. I just want one person to be like, hey, I'm naming my son Peter. I'd be like, yes.
Your time will come. Don't worry.
Yeah,
don't worry. Your time will come.
But you know what's funny though? Sorry, listeners. I will not name my son Peter. Like I'm
no Pete Jr.?
No. Oh, because I'm Pete Jr. I'm Pete Jr.
Oh, you are? Well, then you have a third. No, that's cool.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it. For a number of reasons. One, because obviously, even though I'm not 100% Latino Mexican, that's what I look like mostly on the exterior. So that and growing up in a Mexican neighborhood, I just always felt like my name was, for lack of better terms, too white, like I had a white name.
Okay.
And also because like, I could not think of anybody cool with the name Peter.
Like Pete Tong, the epic dance DJ techno house artist of all time.
I'm gonna be honest, Joy, I don't know who that is.
Oh my God. When were you born?
Before you. And I don't know who that is. Pete Tong.
Yeah, Pete Tong. He he did that. Okay, I'm not gonna sing. Never mind. Yeah. Never mind. Forget it.
I mean, it would be the first. You would be the first person to sing on this podcast. It's okay.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, we'll Google it. We'll have our Googlers, our listeners. I said our Googlers. Our listeners Google Pete Tong.
Have
DJ.
it fact checked.
Okay. Yeah. So I will not name my son Peter the third. I just won't. So, maybe if you have a third boy, you can think about it.
I'll think about it.
Because, so first of all, how are you?
I'm great. Yeah. My second son is 4 months old now. So I've just been starting to get back to work, slowly, getting back to clients and teaching and all of that. But this time has actually been really, really sweet for us. So we've had the luxury of being able to be, largely just at home with the family and watching the boys grow is like cliche, but so tremendously such a huge gift, like really, really, really special.
I'll take your word for it, Joy. I know. I could tell. I'm not opposed. I think people have this notion that I don't want kids. I just don't want them right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
you're gonna be a great dad, though. You know that, right?
Yeah, I do. And if I'm being honest, it's probably going to make me really soft to be a parent. Like, not like physically, like I'm going to become like a softie. Because I'm already pretty sensitive. Like Ashton knows, you know, my Joy knows, my girlfriend as well. Like I cry a lot. And even though I have like a rough exterior sometimes, so I think like, because like I have like my nephews and stuff, and like when I get around them, it's like it's a different feeling, you know. So I can't imagine what it would be like. And heaven forbid,
Your heart. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, heaven forbid, if I had a girl, like then I would just be like,
and you will. No, you will.
I don't know though. I don't know
No.
if I will, because my mom had all boys. And then my other brother has a son. And then my other brother had 2 boys initially. And then they did something, I don't know what, I hope it wasn't like a curse or something, but they managed to have a girl. But other than that, it was all boys on my family. So I don't know.
Yeah, and they do say that it is like a hereditary thing. Like you have more likelihood to make more boys if you come from a family of boys. But I think you'll get a girl, and she's gonna like rip your heart out.
I mean, I hope not, but yeah, you're right. Okay, so I actually, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on this show, one, just because you're obviously very interesting and I like you because we work together, but I'm fascinated by this Kundalini Yoga thing, because I don't, and I'm sure maybe some of our listeners know about it, you know, but from all I know, honestly, is that it's very breathing oriented. And that's literally all I know.
Great. That's a great place to start.
Okay.
That's a great place to start. So just to give you some context, my mom has been practicing Kundalini Yoga since the 70s, since it first was introduced to the West. So I kind of grew up with it in my vernacular, so to speak. But I didn't really start like practicing it as a daily personal practice until my adult life, when I needed it, because you know, when you're a kid, you're like unstoppable, like no one could possibly mess with you. And then you get to be 30 and you're like, oh, actually, like I need to calm my mind a little bit. I'm crazy.
Right.
So you know, I picked it up again in my adult life, just to, you know, just to be able to do life better. And the thing about Kundalini is it uses all of the pillars of the physical and mental bodies in order to essentially gain awareness. And that's all that Kundalini Yoga is. It's the yoga of awareness. And what I'm talking about when we're talking about awareness, it's, you know, how can I be more aware of how my psyche works? How can I not get caught in the traps of my triggers? How can I, you know, use my intuition more and kind of move through space in a way that is more aware and more able to navigate this thing called human life on Earth, which is like already its own, you know, it's fraught with its own trials and tribulations. So yeah, it's a lot of breathing and like chanting. And it was funny, I was telling someone today and they were like trying to like make me feel better. And I was like, no, it's weird. And he's like, no, it's not weird. It's not weird. I'm like, it's weird. Like you've got your arms up, you're breathing all heavy. Like, trust me, I've been around this long enough to know it's weird.
Wait, you got your arms up. What do you mean? Like together?
Oh yeah. Well, you know, sometimes some of the postures are like familiar. Like if you come from like a hatha yoga background, you know, some of the postures might be familiar to you, but like some of the postures are literally just you're holding your arms at a 60-degree angle for 7 minutes, 11 minutes, 22 minutes. Like, let's see how long you can hold your arm up.
Really?
Yeah. So really it's I mean, it's weird, but like what else can I say about it? It's totally weird, but it works. It really, really works. And at least for me, it does. You know, I can't say for everyone out there that Kundalini Yoga is going to be the thing. But what I do like about it is that no matter what capacity you have physically, you can do Kundalini. I think that a lot of people get intimidated by, when they see like super flexible people doing bendy yoga and standing on their heads and all of that. And that's all really cool. And big, more power to you if you can do that. But Kundalini, you can do it sitting in a chair. You can do it waiting for your plane in the airport. You can do it waiting to pick up your kids from school. You don't have to be like super flexible.
I feel like it. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No,
I feel like if you're at the airport and you just started chanting things, it could raise flags.
Totally, absolutely. You absolutely could. But you can always chant silently. You don't actually have to chant out loud. So
okay, got it.
I've done it before. I didn't get flagged.
Okay. My actually we had her on this podcast a few weeks ago, but one of my friends is she's like a TikTok star. And she makes these videos where she sings this is unrelated but also related. So like she basically wears a leotard and goes around and makes like parodies of songs, and it's very entertaining. But her big thing now is like she'll do some of these videos while she's while she's in an airport waiting for a flight, and like just to see the people react. Like she gives zero fucks, and it's just really funny to watch. Like she's like, because like I'm in airports all the time, like I travel quite a bit for work, and like most people just kind of keep to themselves. And like if I saw some girl in a leotard dancing and singing, like it would be weird, right? It's just funny. So shout out to Elizabeth.
Yes, awesome. I don't know. She's awesome.
So the yoga aspect of it, like, is it like a flow? Is it like, what would be like, because I mean, my yoga knowledge, I mean, I guess I can give, I don't know, I guess they still exist. They don't exist in LA anymore, but like my first real yoga experience was like Y7, right? Which is very flow based. They do, you do 3 flows, but you do a flow and you do it again. So like, that's kind of what I'm familiar with. So as far as like Kundalini yoga, is it similar? Is it completely different? Like, if you've never done a yoga class?
It really depends on the class that you get and the teacher that you get.
Okay.
Because there is a huge library of teachings, literally it's called the library of teachings, that has all of the different yoga sets and postures and kriyas. In Kundalini Yoga, we call it a kriya. And what a kriya is, it could be one action, like it could be one meditation, or it could be a series of asanas or movements that are kind of flowing together, for lack of a better word. So it really, it could be that. It could look very similar to a yoga flow, but it could also just look like I'm sitting here meditating. So It really depends on who you get as a teacher, what kriya you get.
This is interesting.
Yeah, and what you get as a teacher. But I will say that overall, generally speaking, in any Kundalini yoga class, you're going to do some pranayam or breath work. You're going to do some meditation, and you're going to do some measure of moving the body through physical postures. So you'll hit on, most likely you will hit on all of those things.
Okay. And then I'm assuming it's just normal, like it's not like hot yoga or anything, right? It's not heated or anything like that.
No, we don't heat the room in Kundalini yoga. You could do it wearing your jeans half the time if you want. You don't even have to like put on your yoga pants.
Okay.
It's really a householder's yoga. And by that, I mean, it's designed, it's accessible for you to be able to do it anywhere at any time for any length of time. If you need like a boost in energy, you can just do 1 minute of what we call breath of fire, which is just a quick inhale, exhale through the nose, a rhythmic inhale, exhale through the nose, to give you like a boost of energy if you need to get through, the next podcast interview.
Yeah. I mean, I tend to use caffeine.
Yes.
But fire could work too.
Breath of fire could totally work. I'll teach you sometime.
I mean, I feel like our listeners probably want to see me do a breath of fire. Yeah, like a quick one.
Okay.
So like,
straight, put both feet on the ground
I
so
like
that your
this.
legs aren't crossed.
This is great.
This is just so that we can let the energy flow fully. And you're going to focus on the tip of the nose, and it's an equal inhale, exhale, and rhythmic through the nose like this. Your navel is going to move, but you're not focusing on the navel. You're focusing on the equal inhale, exhale through the nose. Continue. We'll just do like 20 more seconds. Now inhale, deep, 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 deep. Inhale, deep, deep, deep. Hold the breath. Stretch the spine up. And exhale. And relax. So that was
Okay, listeners, I'm sorry, I just had to. So maybe you guys could have done that too. Maybe rewind it and try it with us. I probably should.
I know they're just like listening to us breathe. Like, oh,
you guys, this is the first time. I'm sorry. Okay, so you guys do different types, but that's not the only type of breathing you guys.
Oh no, there's so many different pranayams, so many different teachings, so many different kriyas. Yeah, it's user's choice.
And now when you're meditating, because I still meditate, but I don't do it like when I first started meditating, it was all about the mantra, like whatever it might be. Everyone has a different one, and you're not supposed to tell anyone what your mantra is.
Well,
okay.
Well, that's one method.
Yeah.
That's one method. Yeah.
So when you guys meditate, is it a sound? Is it a mantra or?
Yeah. So that the meditations are just as vast as the pranayams, as just the yoga set. So there are so many meditations. Some of them use mantra, some of them do not. There is a even vaster library worth of mantra that are used. So it's not like, we have one mantra that we use all the time. We do have one mantra that we often use all the time just to pair with the breath. So you might be chanting a mantra through your whole class silently to yourself over the breath. But in terms of like the meditations that you're doing, like I said, it's pretty vast. So it's rare that you're going to get the same mantra twice, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
This is interesting because I like I said, now I don't do the mantra, I just do the meditation. But like I will say, it's probably around the time that we met, but like I was a lot more angrier, like consistently before I started doing yoga and meditating, and I did feel like it calmed me down a little bit. And then, sorry you guys, but the weed
shouldn't be discounted. Like you should say that again, but like really know that that's huge.
Yeah.
For you to say like I was angry and like now I'm less angry, like that's a huge testimonial to whatever practice.
I still get angry. Like I think because of how I grew up, I think I'll always feel like I have a chip on my shoulder, and because of the industry that I'm in. But I am able, like I did learn a lot from like I said, yoga and meditation, and just like how breathing can just help you in any situation, right?
100%. One breath can change your whole day.
Yeah. And people, I feel like, do it without even recognizing, like, especially like I'll speak on like in my instance, like performers, like if you're about to do a show and get on stage and you get nervous, or like even like if you get into a fight or whatever, like you're like, okay, like I have to take a deep breath. But what they don't realize is like it's like the breath is what's calming you down, just like the notion of like being aware of what happened, take it in, let it in, release that energy. And but a lot of it comes from, like I said, for me at least, learning how to do yoga and meditating and stuff like that, like helped me.
That's 100% right. Yeah, I love that.
And it's funny because like, me, but like people, if they saw me, like, like if I post a workout video or something, like I'm posting, I'm doing box jumps or doing something there, but like I can't, it'd be weird for me to be like, okay, now I'm breathing, And now I'm like, people are like, what the fuck's this guy doing? You know, but like, it's,
I mean, if you say so, Pete, if one guy looked and it was Pete was like, and now I'm breathing, and you're like doing like whatever you're doing, I'd be like, damn, yeah, yes, you are. You keep breathing.
You'd be in the minority though. People are like, what the fuck, what the fuck's he doing? You're like, one more weird thing. Okay, so that's interesting. So there's lots of different types. So like, okay, if someone like, would you recommend this type of yoga to like someone, like if someone was trying to get in shape, for example, let's say they wanted to lose weight, like, would you recommend this, or would this be more of like a supplemental thing to like someone trying to lose weight, or would it just depend on frequency?
So I would say, I'll just answer you with what one of my teachers always says. You add Kundalini Yoga. So we have, so many testimonials from thousands of people around the world of how Kundalini Yoga helps them. And those testimonials are just as varied and vast as the library of meditations that we have, right? So like everybody who has experienced a positive benefit with Kundalini Yoga has a unique story of how it helped them. And so for that reason, a lot of the meditations will say like, this is for weight loss, or this is for blah, 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 but that may or may not be your experience. Your experience should be, what you turn to first. But to answer your question, you always just want to add Kundalini Yoga. So let's say your goal is in fact to lose weight, and you're, changing your eating habits. You're working out, 3 to 6 times a week. You're doing all of those things. You're not going to stop doing that and start doing Kundalini Yoga because, someone said it was good for weight loss. Right. You're just going to add Kundalini Yoga to what you're already doing. And it is my own personal experience that just taking the example of weight loss, that the energetic sort of conditions that you can create with a yoga like Kundalini Yoga, not to say that's the only way to do it. You're creating energetic conditions that favor your body being the best body that it can be for you. You're creating energetic conditions that favor, shedding heaviness of all sorts, mental, emotional, stagnation of energy. You're opening up the channels and creating space for your body to operate at a higher octave than it has been operating. For some people, that may look like weight loss. For some people, that may look like, oh, I'm less tired and fatigued in the morning, and I actually get up right out of bed, and I don't even need coffee anymore. But it's going to be different for everyone.
You said never need coffee anymore.
Ever. I said ever. I don't even. What did I say?
Yeah, it sounded like you said you'd never need coffee anymore.
Right. Maybe that is what I said.
And I mean, I'm going to be honest, Joy.
That's a tall order, right?
Do you know what's funny though? I think I'm at the point now. I mean, I have late nights sometimes because I do shows and stuff, and then it's hard for me to go to sleep and whatever. But I tend to, unless I have to actually be somewhere, I don't even set my alarm in the morning. Like I just wait until I wake up, whenever that is. So sometimes it might be 6, sometimes it might be 5:30. But once I wake up, I'm like, I'll maybe close my eyes back again. And if I don't feel it coming, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to wake up, right? And so I drink coffee in the morning, but I think now it's more just because I like it. Yeah. Is that weird? Is that weird?
That's not weird at all.
I'm at the age where I like coffee, which is
that's not weird at all. I stopped drinking coffee when I was pregnant. And it was the hardest thing I've ever done because I am a coffee addict. I will not lie. And now I'm still nursing, so I'm trying to not have coffee. So I literally drink decaf coffee, which I never thought I could do because it seems like a waste of money. Yeah. But I just drink decaf coffee because I love the ritual of coffee so much.
Yeah, right? That's what it is, right? It's like part of you just you wake up, turn on the coffee machine, and it's
Right.
And now we even have I'll be honest, Ashton gets us like shit I would never think about. Like we have a coffee grinder, which is something that I never would have, but coffee tastes better when you ground the beans. Like it really does.
God, are you a coffee snob?
I'm not, well, I wasn't, but I think I am becoming one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I got on, and I'll give them a shout out. I don't care. I got on to like the Black Rifle coffee.
Oh, I don't know it.
It's a long story, and I don't know if I'm going to do it justice, but the guy who started it was a former Navy SEAL. And you know, guys in Navy SEALs, I guess, drink coffee, and you know, because they were stationed all over the place, and he just developed this love not only for coffee, but of like picking the beans and knowing what a good bean is and whatever. So he actually loves making coffee, and he makes it like they're so good that like I need a little creamer. I'm sorry, fitness people, but it's true. But this is one of the few coffees where I've been able to actually drink it without creamer. But they have like multiple different like roasts and stuff. But anyway, with the Black Rifle, they donate like a certain percentage to like wounded veterans and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, so it's a cool company. And yeah, so
I mean, I just want to touch on something that you said. You said that you put a little creamer. Sorry, fitness people. Because from a yogic perspective, and even a step further, an Ayurvedic perspective, which is sort of the sister science to yoga, it talks more about lifestyle and diet.
What's it called?
Ayurveda.
Ayurveda.
Yeah. If you've ever like heard of like, what's your type? Like, what's your dosha type? You could be a Vata, Pitta, Kapha type person.
I've never heard these words ever.
You've never heard that before?
Not one time.
Okay. I'm not going to get into it, but from that perspective, right, it's all about checks and balances. It's all about assets and liabilities. So for you, you know, you might know that coffee isn't really the best thing for you, or you might know that a little creamer isn't necessarily the best thing for you, right?
Right.
But because you enjoy it, and because you have made enough lifestyle choices, like being healthy and working out every day, and you know, doing all these, maybe your yoga and meditation, whatever, you're making all of these other choices that are sort of canceling out whatever quote unquote bad choices you might be making. And that's not even the right word, because it's not like a moral thing. Like, you're not bad for having creamer in your coffee.
For sure.
It's just, you know how to counterbalance a choice that maybe isn't like, you know, the best thing for you in that moment, right?
Right. Yeah. I think, yeah, I just think like, you know, something like, you use creamer. I'm like, yeah, dude, because like,
it tastes delicious.
Yeah, like, exactly. Like, because until like literally like a few months ago, like I could not drink just coffee. My girlfriend can just like the worst, like we used to get like Folgers, and she would just drink it. I'm sorry, Folgers, but it's not the best tasting coffee. And she'll just drink it black. Like she just drinks black, but she grew up on a fucking farm. Like, that's just how they roll, you know?
That's a legend. I love that.
Dude, she's so much more of like, in terms of like, if something needs to be fixed or like manual labor, like she has me beat by so many points. But yeah. So, okay, so this is all very interesting. This is good. This is why I wanted to have you on, because I'm sure, like me, other people are listening like, wow, this is a bunch of stuff that I did not know. So, I mean, I'm assuming there's Kundalini play. Like, now, is Kundalini like a place or like a thing where it's like, you would have to go to a specific studio that's just that? Or like, do some yoga studios have like, okay, but this is, you know, whatever the name of the yoga place is, and we also have this class that's Kundalini kind of thing?
Totally. Yeah, I've experienced both, you know, in my life, both studios that are 100% dedicated to Kundalini Yoga and maybe do maybe offer other things from time to time, and the opposite, studios that like, I know like Aloe. I mean, am I allowed to say a brand name?
Yeah, you can say brand names. It's fine. Yeah. I already shout out Black Rifle, so
I don't know what they're doing for classes now, obviously, because, you know, so many studios closed and whatever. Yeah. But I know that they had a Kundalini offering, and they don't specialize in Kundalini, but they had a Kundalini come. So you could, you know, for people who are interested in giving it a try, I would recommend just going on YouTube and typing in Kundalini Yoga meditation and finding one that they feel good doing, and then do it every day for 40 days and just see what happens. Just come at it from a perspective of, you know what, I'm curious. Like, I want to see how this feels in my body, because you really need, like, there's something magical about that 40-day mark. So you could pick one meditation that's 3 minutes long. I mean, anyone can do 3 minutes of meditation a day. I'm sorry, I don't care how busy you are. You can do 3 minutes of meditation. Do it for 40 days and see how it feels. And if after 40 days you go, wow, yeah, I actually noticed that I didn't snap at my kid, you know, for like leaving the fridge open, or I didn't, you know, I didn't cut off that guy in traffic. And actually,
no, I cut him off. I cut him off. I just didn't yell at him as
I just didn't yell at him and flip him off after.
Or vice versa. I didn't yell at him, flip him off after he cut me off.
Cutting me off. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's a good recommendation. So what's it? You're in you guys are in Venice, right?
Yeah, I live in Marina Del Rey.
Oh, Marina Del Rey. Oh, okay. And you're teaching, I know, like, places, I'm still not back home yet. Some places are open and some places aren't, right?
Yeah, I think the gyms and studios are open. I'm not even sure what the official word is at this point, and if it's changing sometime soon. I know that a lot of gyms are opting, you know, to have more outdoor space, which is great. I mean, working out outdoors is just
love it, especially right now.
Yeah, especially right now. So so yeah, I think it's really just a matter of your comfort level. You know, if you don't feel good going into a studio right now, then don't go into a studio.
Don't go. Yeah,
like,
that's what
do it at home, do it outside.
Now, this is what I've been saying, and this is even before like things were like open. I felt that they should have opened gyms earlier, and then just let people decide whether or not they wanted to go. Like, because
I remember seeing a post of yours like that.
Yeah. Oh, I pissed off a lot of people, but I'm like, this gym that I'm at, you know, there's sanitizing wipes, there's spray, there's socially distanced machines, like they're taking precautions, there's temperature checks, like all these things. And like, you know, I was traveling, so once like comedy clubs kind of opened back up again, you know, like, I don't know, August, I went back to work September. But like I would go to different places and I'm like, yeah, like, why can't they do this in California? Like, people don't have to come, but they're taking, the gym's a lot cleaner now. And I just wish that they would have given like our friends back home the choice to keep working and let people make the decision for themselves, other than just be like, okay, we're shutting it all down. Because I know a lot of gyms, I'm sure you do, that are no longer in business because of this, which sucks.
It does. And I would say though that I think that it's also a testament to, you know, the individual's stamina in terms of like, I need to work out every day.
Yeah.
And I need to do it for my mental, physical, and emotional health. I need to do it for the health and well-being of my family. If I don't, I'm not a nice person. And I'm going to find a way to do that, even if the gym I go to every day is closed, versus the person that's like, oh, my gym's closed, I better not like work. I'm just not going to work out. Right.
Right. And there's a lot of those people.
Find a way. Like, I clear off my patio. I, you know, do my videos, you know, on my computer. Of course, it doesn't have that same like energy as going to take a live class. But I think the people who knew that they needed to continue to be physical found the ways to do that. They went, they logged into their, you know, their Zoom workouts or whatever. But yeah, I mean, to see how many businesses and gyms completely, you know, lose all of their, what? Sorry.
Hey, look at.
You want to say hi?
No.
How did you up? Sorry, I have to type the code. I have to type the code on the iPad.
Hashtag mom life.
Hashtag
What's up, Orlando? He doesn't remember me. Hey, buddy.
Can you go upstairs, honey, because it's a little bit loud.
His hair's so long.
Yeah, he needs
Okay, so, but are you are you personally right now, I know you just had a baby, so you're probably taking time off, right?
Well, I had a baby 4 months ago, so my
Yeah.
time off is done. I'm back at work, and actually, when I announced that I was taking clients again, I was like 0 to 60. Everybody was just like, "Let's work out." And I'm like, "Okay, hold on, slow down a little bit because I'm not quite in like fighting shape yet. Like I'm getting there, but." Yeah, I'm not quite back. So I'm trying to pace myself with the clientele. But I do a handful of private clients, and then I do teach a yoga class once a week.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No more like dance or anything like that?
Yeah, no, most of my private clients are, we do the dance-based fitness.
Okay.
I just launched, shameless plug, I just launched this program called the Manifestation Workout. So it is a dance-based workout. I mix in a little bit of the Kundalini Yoga, but it's basically, it's an online, thing. So you sign up and do it online with me. But I wanted to find a way to use some of the yogic principles and what I know about yoga and frame it in a way for somebody who maybe isn't that interested in yoga, right? I wanted those sort of pillars of how your body moves through space and how that can be used to manifest what you want in a way that was approachable and fun and more fitness based rather than yoga based. So I'm very excited about it.
This is called the Manifestation Workout.
Manifestation Workout. It's launched, we start on August 15th. So yeah, I'm very, very excited about it. It took me 10 years to get this thing out into the world. Yeah.
So by the time they hear this, it will have started, but you guys can still sign up, I'm sure.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
We're recording this a little bit ahead of time. Sorry guys, Petey's got stuff to do, so I'm just getting these episodes recorded beforehand. But if you guys want, the Manifestation Workout, and I'm sure you have links on your socials and everything.
Yep.
Got it. Cool. So like the Manifestation Workout. So like, let's say for example, I wanted to I want my comedy special to be on HBO.
Yes.
So I could do something that can manifest that into happening with this workout program that'll teach me how to walk or a certain way.
Well, you're really good with the manifesting already. I know that about you.
100%. Yeah.
So I don't think you have any, I don't think you need any tips from me. But so if you're asking like how would you use that goal in the manifestation workout?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the way that it works is first we set up your personal mantra, which is basically just an affirmation.
Yep.
So you work with the worksheets, the PDFs, and you design a personal mantra that is going to be what you're either audibly saying or just internally reciting while I'm leading you through the manifestation workout.
Okay.
So the workout happens in 3 stages. The generation stage is basically where you're putting the purchase order out into the universe, but you're also sort of listening to what maybe the universe is trying to tell you in terms of how it feels, how it sounds, how it looks, like if there are any whispers of action that you need to be taking in order to get there. And the way that you sort of correspond your movement to that type of intelligence, let's call it universal intelligence, is you start to lull your body, your conscious mind and your body into sort of a meditative state. So in the generate phase, you're sort of a moving meditation. It's very repetitive and you're trying to just listen for any clarity around what you have stated the goal is. The second stage is the organizing phase. And as you know, when you manifest, you put out the purchase order and then you just keep going every day. You keep working every day. You keep putting one foot in front of the other and you keep intentionally moving in the direction of the goal without any idea of how it's going to happen. You just take intentional, inspired movement. Yeah.
I'm glad you said this because I talk about this a lot, like, because you can manifest something, but like you still have to do the things
Right.
that will make, like, you can't just be like,
Right.
I want to be this and just sit around and not do shit. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
Like you could speak those things, but like, you still got to do the things.
Exactly. You
Okay.
still have to keep moving forward with precision, with as much precision and intention as you had at the beginning, right?
Yep.
So after you get to a certain point where you're like, I should have seen something already. Like, gosh, why isn't this working? That's the point when you know you have to recommit and continue and keep up that same level of intention and precision. So the types of movements that correspond to that in your psyche are like the musculature movements where you're hitting a specific angle, and it doesn't matter how tired you are, you're hitting that angle over and over and over and over and over again, because you're literally sculpting yourself, right?
Right.
So those are the types of movements, very precise, strengthening movements. And then the third phase is my favorite phase. It's the delivering phase. Where you just get to feel absolute ecstatic gratitude and joy for already having the thing that you think is in the future, already it being a part of your psyche, a part of your physicality. And what that translates to in terms of how your body is moving is dance cardio.
Yes. I love it.
Crank up the music super loud, and you felt it before, where you just start moving in synchrony with synchronization with the rhythm, with the rhythmic intelligence, with the music, and you can let yourself just feel happy and grateful and ecstatic and joyful. So it's really training your body to embody the physical manifestation of the visualization, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
this is very well thought out, Joy.
Yeah, it took me 10 years.
This isn't just like, hey, come work out with me online. This is like, there's levels to this shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna ask you some hard questions now. Not that my questions weren't hard, but these are a little bit harder questions. Okay, ready? Give me, who are 3 people, and you don't have to know these people, but 3 people that have been the most influential in your life.
So the first person is Guru Jagat. She is my Kundalini Yoga teacher and mentor. She passed away actually on Monday. And so she is fresh on my mind.
Oh, Joy, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Way to bring the podcast down.
It's been a tough couple of days.
Oh, shit.
But what I will say about her is that she always, I mean, one of the mantras in Kundalini Yoga that we use is keep up, keep up, keep up, keep up. And I know that she's waiting to see what all of us are going to do. You know, she's wherever she is. I don't know where that is, but wherever she is, she's rooting for us to keep up and keep putting one foot in front of the other. So yeah, that is the only person that comes to mind right now. I'm trying to think who else.
Now, some people have a hard time with this question.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, I told you they were tough, Joy. I literally said these are some tough questions, and here we go.
Give me a second. Hold on. I want to think of something else. Jewel.
Jewel, like the singer?
The
like
singer.
Who will save your soul, Jewel?
Yeah, like, yeah, Jewel.
Okay. Why?
Her story is, did you know that she was homeless when she was 15?
Everyone knows a story about Jewel living in the car, fucking.
Okay.
Yeah, and then sold her album. Like, yeah, everyone knows that. I mean, I hope you guys know that.
You do know 90s music.
Yeah, but there's people.
You don't know Pete Tong.
There's people listening though that probably don't know who Jewel is, which is probably
That's
a travesty.
true. Okay, yes.
But,
so folk singer from the 90s, beautiful voice of an angel that would make a gargoyle cry.
Yeah.
And my friend and client actually just told me this story because she saw her at like a benefit or something. And she was talking about her life, and I didn't actually know this until my friend told me. But she was like shoplifting because she needed to feed herself, and she like looked in the mirror and saw herself and was like, I'm not going to become a statistic. And at that moment decided that she was only going to feed herself positive thoughts, and, started walking around singing on the streets, and kept infusing herself with positive thoughts, and became however many platinum selling recording artist, and all around like amazing person. So
Jewel.
she was fresh on my mind.
Yeah, shout out to
Do you
Jewel.
have a third one? Do you really want a third? I'm like trying to think.
It's okay. We've had other guests that we're only able to name two, so it's fine.
Now I feel like you're like calling me out.
No, I'm not.
Us that have only been able.
My point is I understand it's a hard question. Like, is she still married to Kenny Chesney?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I feel like as a pop culture-ish podcast, I should know these things. If I had an assistant handy, I could look it up. But okay,
let's manifest that. An assistant for Pete. Okay.
Okay. Next question. If someone wanted to get into your line of work, like training, being a yoga instructor, what advice would you give them?
I would tell them that the most important thing that you can do as a teacher is be the example, be the living example. So it is required. It's a requirement in order for you to give something to someone, you have to have it yourself.
Yeah.
So whatever it is you want to give, if you want to give, the technology of Kundalini Yoga, if you want to give, people the ability to sweat and then wring their shirt out after, whatever it is you want to give, you have to embody yourself. You have to do it yourself. You have to be the example yourself. So if you're not willing to do it yourself, you're never going to be able to teach it to someone else.
I get it. I like it. This one may be hard, maybe not. I don't know. What's your biggest failure and how did you learn from it?
My biggest failure.
Oh no, Joy's frozen.
Okay, no, I have it. I don't know. Okay, I don't know if it's a failure because I did learn from it. So if you learn from it, in my book, it's not a failure.
Hang on, Joy. Oh no, there you go. You were frozen on the screen, but we're good now.
So just to recoup, in case you didn't get that, in my opinion, because you learned from it, it's not a failure anymore. So, but I will say this, and it's kind of like, it's weird and funny, whatever. I did a multi-level marketing company.
We all did, of course. We all did.
And to be fair, I actually got pretty high up in the thing. Like, it was like, and also to be fair, I still do very much believe in that company and that product. It just wasn't for me.
I feel like I know what it is now.
It just wasn't, it wasn't a right fit for me. Right.
Right.
And so in that respect, because I really did see like a vision with that. I really did see myself like going to the top and like get in the car. And like, I really, really wanted that. And I really put my heart and soul into it. I'm not ashamed of it at all, but I didn't get to that point with it. I didn't get the car.
Okay, hold on. You don't have to name this company. I think is it the company that you recommended a product to me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Yes.
I wasn't selling it at that time though. I just honestly thought that you would like it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So when I was in college, I got involved in one where we sold we sold knives.
Cutco?
Yes, dude.
Nice.
Dude, okay. I got sold so hard because as a college student, as most of us are like struggling, like you probably have some job. It's hard to have a job in college because you got to study, but I was poor. So like I needed some money. And so I had a job and I was going to school. And then this like the signs they put all around school were like, I want to say, this is gonna age me, but whatever. It was like $12 an hour to start, and I'm like, wait, what? Because at that time,
Right.
minimum wage was like $5. I want to say maybe $5.25. So that was like more than twice as much. And I'm like, what? So I show up to the meeting and they show us what we're going to sell, but they take us to like one of those. Not only did they tell us what we're going to sell, but they took us to like one of those like big like corporate gatherings where everyone, so and so made $10,000 last month and so got a car, and I'm like, oh fuck, dude, this is it, dude. This is how I'm gonna be balling. And I lasted like 3 weeks, and I was like, this is whack, dude. This sucks. But I did get some cool knives out of it.
To be honest, like I don't trust anyone that didn't give that a shot at some point. Like right. Seriously, like, but here's the thing, and this is why I say it wasn't a failure. I really did genuinely learn a lot about how to approach someone in a way that doesn't feel like skeezy and weird, and ask for something that you want. And I think that a lot of people, especially creative people, sort of sell themselves short before it's like it's time for the ask. Like here's what I have, and here's what I want to do with it. Will you buy this? Is such a powerful tool to have in anything, because I don't care who you are, you're selling something. Sure. And if you're creative, you're most likely selling your own, personality.
Oh yeah.
So to be able to actually sit down with someone and say, will you buy this, was like a huge lesson for me that I still use to this day in a positive way. Yeah.
Okay. One more question. If you were me, this is a weird question, but it makes sense. If you were me, what would you have asked you that I didn't ask you? I know it's a weird, but it makes sense.
It totally makes sense. And from like an interviewer's point of view, that's like exactly what you want to know, right? Like, what didn't I get? Tell me more about the story.
Yeah, exactly.
What would I have asked me? And then do I have to answer it?
Well, obviously.
I have to answer the question that you would have asked me, that you should have asked me. Okay.
Oh, while you think about this, I will ask another one, just because I didn't touch on it, what we kind of did, but not really. But like, how have you managed to keep yourself in shape? Obviously, you had Orlando right after we met initially. And then I remember you were very quickly got back into like pre-baby shape. And so that's obviously a thing that a lot of women have to deal with. So like, what worked for you, or like, how did you do that? Because a lot of times, women have babies and it's hard, they can't get that body back for whatever reason.
Yeah. So I would say with Orlando, the process was different than it has been with Eddie. With Orlando, I will say my older son, I was more, not obsessed, but I was more interested in seeing the numbers go down on the scale quickly.
But you worked out in your pregnancy for a long time.
Right. So I will say, like, just from a bare bones, like nuts and bolts, like this is how it works perspective, the fitter you are before the pregnancy is directly correlated to how quickly it will come off after. So because I was already very fit before, I will say that relatively speaking, all things equal, I think that it came off pretty quickly. And I will admit that I was more interested in seeing that number go down quickly with my first son than I have been with my second son. And the reason for that is because I am finding that how did you get back in shape after the baby question is like getting really old. Not to say I'm not nothing against you.
Thanks, Joy.
It's not
this is my last podcast.
It's not something that I think that generally speaking that women need to really be worried about in these precious moments with your baby.
I'm an asshole.
No, that's not what I meant to say at all. You're not an asshole.
Our listeners hate me now.
And like, if we are talking about like the form and function, like I said, like the nuts and bolts of like, this is how it works, intermittent fasting and working out every day. That's how to do it, right? Or at least that's how I'm doing it. That's how it's working for me.
So what's your, so just a quick one, what's your time window for intermittent fasting?
So I don't actually measure the time window, because intermittent fasting is kind of just how my body naturally likes to eat anyway. So I'm not sitting there going like, oh, it's 7 o'clock, like I need to have my last meal so that I can fast for however many hours. It's just, I naturally skip breakfast. That's how I've always been. I never was interested in eating breakfast. I don't eat typically until like 1 o'clock.
Ever?
Pretty much. And like I said, it's not like something that I'm sitting there going, oh, I can't eat until blah, 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 because of my fast. It's just, that's how my body likes to work.
No breakfast?
No.
So you never eat eggs?
I mean, on weekends, if we're having breakfast all together as a family, like, you know, we're sitting down to have breakfast or brunch or whatever. But like during the day when I'm working, and the reason why I think is because I always work in the mornings and I can't eat before cardio. I just can't do it. If I have even a tiny little thing before I start jumping around, it comes up.
Dude, I would talk about this all the time. Like, this is a real thing. And for me, it was the morning, but it was also like the night before. Like if I was teaching dance in the morning, I'm like, I can't eat pizza or something, because like it might want to come out when I'm teaching, and that's that's a very unpleasant feeling. So I get that.
All that being said, you know, I'm not saying that intermittent fasting is the end all and the be all for everyone.
Everybody's different.
Everyone's different. But for me, that's how it.
Okay, that's great.
And maybe this actually ties into the question that I couldn't answer before, which is like, the question that I would ask myself is like, what keeps you coming back, like to fitness, to Kundalini Yoga? Like what makes you tick? What turns you on, so to speak? Like what gets you going? Like why do you do what you do? And for me, it is, I want to inspire through movement. I want my movement to represent a trust and a knowingness that my body and the experience of this body and my intuition around how to take care of it is rooted in authenticity and joy. Even though like that's my name, like it's.
I was like, pun intended.
I want to empower people to trust whatever choices that they know are right for them. Because like I said, intermittent fasting is not going to be right for everyone. Dance cardio is not going to be right for everyone, but it's going to be right for someone.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I want to do. I want everyone to know that whatever they want, whether it's changing the shape of their body or whether it's being interviewed on late night television for their new Netflix special.
That's right.
That's already a reality for them. Yes, baby.
It is. Joy, see then.
It's 4:30. It's 4:30. My son is keeping time.
All right. Yeah. Good for you. Yeah. No, we're done, Orlando. Don't worry. I like that, man. Joy, tell everyone where they could. We'll put it in the show notes, but just tell everyone where they can find you on social.
So Instagram and TikTok, I am Joie Lilikoi. That's JoiLilikoi. Okay. And the website is We Are Haumea, Haumea. We Are Haumea, all one word. And that's where you can find my offerings and my programs and a lot of free stuff too. So if you want to try Kundalini Yoga, just give it a try for free. You can find that on the website.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll include that in the show notes.
Cool.
You make TikToks now, huh?
Yeah, and I'm a little bit TikTok famous too. Just
oh shit. Okay, I suck at TikTok.
You would love it. I feel like that would be the perfect forum for you.
I think it would be, but like
you have to do it.
Well, I mean, I put my stand-up clips, but I don't make I think like the people that do really well on TikTok are people that specifically make content just for TikTok.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, what's cool with TikTok is people like to learn things on TikTok. So if you're actually teaching something,
interesting,
that usually does well.
Is that Eddie? Hey, buddy. Oh, look at those little cheeks. This is the first time a baby's been on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
We've had a few moms, but no babies on the podcast. Hey, buddy. Okay, Joy, thank you so much for your time. I know it's valuable with your job and children and whatnot. Follow Joy, check out the website, check out Kundalini, follow her, all that stuff. Thank you guys for listening. Joy, hang on for a second when I hang up. Thank you guys for listening, PERFORMA Nation, and we'll see you guys next time on the POPcast.